Hello YouTube, Jovan here with Imperfect Creations Homestead, coming to you from what used to be a rather large garden, is now mostly a pile of dirt. For those that are new to my channel, welcome. For those who have hung in there with me while I've been MIA the last month working on this project, thank you so much. I am coming from Mixed Zone 6-7 in Virginia, and I started container gardening 10 years ago this past April. Since purchasing my current home, I've had some issues with flooding in my backyard that are now getting worse due to erosion. And so I had the bright idea to take on a very large fall project, which included taking up my pallets and all my grow bags and moving them over to the other side of my hill so that I could better level out where I'm standing, and then add tiers and extra retaining walls. Because I live in an HOA, I had to, of course, get permission first, and that took some time. And once they gave me the green light, baby, I got to digging. So as you can see, I'm doing it the old-fashioned way because projects like these are very, very expensive. So I'm using a tiller for the first time in my life. Not today because it's cold and I don't feel like doing that much sweating. And I'm working on a smaller area today. I'm working on what's going to be the first tier and the first set of retaining walls. So I have a tiller, I have a garden hoe, I got 2 shovels, a rake, these hands, these feet, and Jesus. Yes, that's what I've got. And this is what I've gotten done so far. So you see behind me, doesn't look like much, but it used to be much lower. And right here, doesn't look like much, but that used to be completely uneven. And I've actually excavated quite a bit of soil. So I've already planted my garlic. That's what's in this planter that I built some months ago. Actually built that during the summer, early summer, because I wanted to be very intentional about planting for my garden, not only this fall, but next spring as well. So my daughter, because I was sick last week, she cleared out all the tomatoes in the cage. If you're familiar with the cage area, I've still got some peppers going. I've got paprika, I've got some bell peppers, I've got sunset Italian sweet peppers, and I've even got one more eggplant coming in. Eggplant said she was not finished. Lady, leave me alone. And then behind me in my primary raised bed, my cabbages are just about done. I've got early golden and red acre cabbage. Pak choy has been eaten up pretty badly, so I got 2 good ones and I'm gonna let the other one go. I've got a cauliflower and a broccoli. Now, neither of those gave us any heads, but a shout out to Miss Lisa at Growing with Lisa in Zone 8A, Alabama. We watched one video of hers where she was actually harvesting the greens from her broccoli. And she said basically anything out there, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, you can eat those outer leaves. Honey, I came out here and I got cauliflower greens, rutabaga greens, and beet greens and cooked them down like collards. Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Lisa. Me and my baby girl and my mom and a friend of ours, I gave her some today that I had frozen. We thoroughly enjoyed those greens. So for Thanksgiving next week, we harvested collard greens yesterday from the 2 front beds I showed you all in the last video. So I'm going to mix those with the collards that I harvested and froze in May. And that should be enough for Thanksgiving. And then for Christmas, we're going to have these cabbages. So menu's already planned out. Sorority Row has been all cleared out. I'll give you a peek over there. Yeah, my backyard is a bit of a mess right now, but it's okay. It's okay. Or as Miss Asia said, it's fine. It's fine. We took down the last of the spring and summer tomatoes this past Sunday. Like I said, my baby girl did most of that work because Mama was not feeling well. It's Thursday now. I've got a little bit of energy back, so I've been out here digging, doing what I can. I'm trying to get that area leveled off so I can put down, you see my cardboard there. What I do is level, and then I put down cardboard, and then I put down landscape fabric, and then I'm adding railroad ties as my retaining wall. For those that have the concern about the creosote or the creocyte in the railroad ties, Miss J does not grow in ground. I'm trying to save my knees. I know Broke said, use your dirt. I do, because you know what goes in the bottom of these containers? Won't he do it? And you know what I use for mulch and fertilizer? You see all them leaves? Won't he do it? So yes, Broke, I'm still using my native soil. I do amend it with compost. I do add in, I've got comfrey fertilizer for the first time. Y'all taught me how to make compost tea this year, so I've been using that. And baby, the garden loves it. So I'm going to give these cabbages until probably the end of next week, maybe 2 more weeks. I'll watch them closely because I'm not letting anything get those cabbages. They have some nice heads on them. Let me see if I can get you a close-up. Let me know if you can see that. See how nice the heads are on those cabbages? The red acre, not so much, but those early golden, beautiful heads on those cabbages. And I've got 2 more over on Sorority Row. There's one red acre and there's one early golden. The early golden, the head on them was so firm. I'm just waiting on it to get a little bit bigger. They don't have to get huge because I have 3. And that's more than enough for us for Christmas dinner. I'll figure out my size later. But once I knew we had adequate collard greens for Thanksgiving and cabbage for Christmas, we good. In the greenhouse, I wish I could get in there and show you. We got all the lettuce. I'm a tip over there. Just one moment. It's kind of rough walking around back here because I've got new dirt in places where there was no dirt. I got uncompacted dirt where there was dirt. But peek in this window. Look at all that lettuce. Y'all see that? We've been eating salads, grandma. Yes, lettuce. And do you know what else is in that greenhouse with that lettuce? Kohlrabi. That's right. Broke, I started some more kohlrabi. I've got probably 10 or 12 healthy, happy kohlrabi seedlings that are coming along in the greenhouse. I'm going to transplant them soon now that I've cleared out the rest of the tomatoes and some of the peppers. I'm going to use this soil that I already have in these containers that I already have. I've got some broccoli and some cauliflower seedlings that are ready to be transplanted. So yeah, we still growing here on Imperfect Creations Homestead. I appreciate, those that might have checked in or thought, where is that girl? Where is her and the baby? Her and the baby been working. Okay, we've been putting in work. These railroad ties are not for the weak at heart. My neighbor and my nephew have been a big help because I'm 5'4". I can do a lot. But what I cannot do is lift a 200-pound railroad tie. And I'm not going to try. I'll scoot it. I'll roll it. But I'm not lifting it. And so we still wanted to be able to grow food in the midst of this project. So I left the primary raised bed. I showed you the brassicas in there. I left the cage area. We just, cleaned that up and we're getting that ready for fall and winter transplants as well as spring. My fall tomatoes, those cherry tomato varieties I planted, they're still going. The onions that are in from late spring look beautiful. Another shout out to Miss Asia over at Yellow Door Urban Homestead. The leeks look beautiful. And we still have potatoes from our spring summer harvest. So yeah, we're going to be trying potato and leek soup. I'm very excited about it. The beans just stopped producing like 2 weeks ago. Thanksgiving is next week, people. The beans are definitely going out again next year. I let one pod completely dry because, again, Miss Linda over at Sweet Tomato Vine Homestead, Miss Lisa down at Growing with Lisa, Broke Farmer, all of you encouraged us to save our seeds. And so dry beans are going to be new bean plants next year because those green beans kept giving. So, I want to show y'all something. Talking about plants still giving. I cleared these pots out, right? This is where we had a summer squash. You recognize these containers? I do. But look who joined the party. That's a volunteer potato. So when you don't clear your bags completely out and it cools off, oh yeah. And look who's still hanging on. Look at that coleus. That coleus is beautiful. That coleus says she is not ready to die. She is not ready to die. So I'm letting her live. The other reason I'm letting her live, other than the fact that she's completely beautiful, this is the grow bag that I grew okra in this year. And I did some reading and some research. Y'all know I'm always reading something, trying to find ways to better care for my family. I read that you should not plant squash or tomatoes or peppers in the soil that you grew okra in the year before. Well, that's the only container I grew okra in, so she's sitting off by herself, so I can clearly identify her when I load everybody back up on this hill. So let me give you another view of what it looks like back here. So see, now this is even, because I was struggling harvesting those sweet potatoes because I was putting half my energy into not falling and the other half of my energy into getting them potatoes. So yeah, it's evening out. It's getting there. I still got a ways to go, but I don't have as far to go as I did. And so I greatly appreciate you guys for thinking about us over here in Virginia, mixed zone 6A, 6B, 7A, 7B. Listen, we got our first frost October 17th. We sure did. The grass was crispy. My car had ice on it. They talking about, oh, that wasn't frost. Ma'am, sir, that was frost. And my squash and cucumbers promptly died. A few of my tomatoes were like, you got one more time with that frost and we out. So yeah, that was our first frost. We've had some 29-degree nights here lately, and so we're in the depths of it. We are perfectly fine where we are. I love the cold. See my coat of many colors. I made this some years ago. That's a different conversation. But yeah, we're doing great. Back on the mend. I'll be posting more frequent videos, I will say. I'm not going to put a frequency on that, but it'll be more frequent. You won't have to wait a month in between again. But your girl been busy. I've been out here working. That tiller, nothing to play with. Like Ms. Linda said, it'll shake you every which way but loose. But it broke this soil up. And so I'm going to finish shoveling this dirt to level out the area that I want to put down. Oh, before I go, y'all, look. I got 2 new raised beds. Or raised planters, I should say. Check these out. Right? 2 for less than $50 total on Amazon. If I can remember, I will put the link down there. The reviews were pretty good overall. I like to try things for myself. I want to say that the manufacturer listened to the reviews about missing bolts and nuts. They sent me extra. They made certain that I could put those beds together. So the reason I'm out here in the cold today, sniffling everywhere, is because I want to get the last of my garlic and my onions for the fall planted. And so I'm going to use my native soil at the bottom of those planters. And from there, I'm going to reappropriate inventory. It's not called stealing, it's called reappropriating inventory. I'm going to use soil from containers that I'm not growing in right now. And then when spring comes, I got extra soil to put in there. Don't doubt it. One tip I want to give you, as it is now fall, and I'm sure you've heard on other channels, please visit your local feed and seed stores if they are still open. The one closest to me closes down for the winter, but they have some nice sales and clearances going. The one in the next town over that we visit quite a bit is where we got our second apple tree. Shout out to Miss Joanne at Blue Ridge Farmers Co-op. They have some really nice clearances going on too. Check out your local big box stores and your local feed and seeds to see what's on clearance. Stock up on your peat moss, stock up on your cocoa coir, stock up on your cheap seeds, stock up on your garden tools, get you some mesh netting, get you some straw, mulch, whatever it is you need, get it now while it's cheap, because come January, stuff's going back up because people are getting ready to grow for the spring. I'm learning, y'all. I'm learning. And so thank you again for hanging out with us. We appreciate and love you guys. We pray that everyone will have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Eat some of this good garden groceries. And we'll see you next time on Imperfect Creations Homestead. Bye, y'all.